Welcome back to Harmonized Spirits. I'm Christopher Wolfing Spirit. Today we stand together at the summit. We have arrived at the 8th and final transmission of this foundational season. Over our last 7 journeys, we have undertaken a massive, multi-dimensional expedition. We climbed the branches of the world tree into the crystalline laws of the upper world. We dropped into the heavy, timeless dreaming of the lower world to track and retrieve lost soul fragments. We stood in the center of the middle world to claim our daily energetic sovereignty against the chaos of the human matrix. We had the immense courage to look directly into the shadows of our own spiritual lineages, and last week we unlocked the royal high-tech metaphysics of Kemet, navigating the Dwant to activate our internal cellular pharmacology. If you have listened to every step of this journey, your system has already begun to shift. Your nervous system has been exposed to a frequency that cannot be unheard. Today, we are closing the circle. We are talking about the ultimate realization of this hybrid path, the return of the sovereign architect. The world is currently flooded with people who are looking to be saved. They are wandering from teacher to teacher, crystal to crystal, ceremony to ceremony, desperately begging the universe to fix their lives. They are operating as passive tourists in the spiritual realm. But the template of the tourist is officially dead. The cosmos is not a playground. It is a construction site. And you are not a passive observer. You are the master builder. A sovereign architect is a practitioner who has integrated the stars and the dirt. They have stopped trying to escape the physical world, and they have stopped letting the physical world dictate their power. They understand that their internal frequency is the primary blueprint, and that physical reality is simply the clay that must mold itself to their design. Today we're going to look at what it truly means to hold the blueprints of your own destiny, how to step into the ultimate throne of your personal sovereignty, and how to bridge this entire season of training into your definitive next step of power. Let's define the mechanics of the sovereign architect. In mainstream metaphysics, people talk about the law of attraction or manifestation as if it is a game of wishing and hoping. They tell you to make a vision board and think happy thoughts. But this is an entry-level, disempowered understanding of universal law. The universe does not respond to what you want. The universe responds to what you are. It responds to your absolute structural resonance. When you operate as a sovereign architect, you understand that your physical body, your auric field, and your subconscious mind form a unified broadcasting tower. If that tower is uncalibrated, if your root is unanchored, your solar plexus is leaking power to other people, and your crown is choked by lineage distortions, the blueprint you are broadcasting is one of chaos. Consequently, your physical life will mirror that chaos back to you through financial scarcity, toxic relationships, and physical exhaustion. You cannot fix the mirror by smashing it. You must change the object standing in front of that mirror. The sovereign architect doesn't waste time trying to manipulate external circumstances in the middle world. Instead, they drop down into the lower world to clear the trauma blocks. They rise into the upper world to download the clean geometric laws of creation. They utilize the acoustic science of Heka to organize their cellular water, and they ignite their internal pharmacy to stabilize their nervous system. When you do this heavy structural work, your internal voltage spikes. You begin to hold what we call command presence. You walk into a room, and without saying a word, the room calibrates to you. Opportunities, wealth, and high vibrational alignments naturally gravitate toward your field because you have finally built a house worthy of holding them. You are no longer navigating the matrix. You are writing the code. I remember the exact moment this realization crystallized in my own life. It was during the peak of my transition from Christopher McCombs to Christopher Wolfing Spirit. I had spent years accumulating knowledge, mastering the traditional Reiki systems, and checking every box that the spiritual world told me would bring fulfillment. Yet, I found myself sitting in my space one evening, looking at all my certificates, feeling a profound sense of isolation and exhaustion. I realized I was still waiting for some external, cosmic permission slip to tell me I was ready to lead. I was still operating as a highly advanced student, waiting for a master to crown me. In that quiet stillness, free from any external distractions, I picked up my drum. I closed my eyes and descended into the deepest, darkest chamber of my own subconscious duat. I didn't go down there to look for an angel or a guide. I went down there to look for myself. And right there at the 0 point hour of my own night, I encountered the fragment of my soul that held my absolute, raw, primordial power. It wasn't a sanitized, polite frequency. It was fierce, uncompromised, and fiercely sovereign. It looked at me and said, "Stop asking for permission from systems that are smaller than your destiny. Stop trying to fit your medicine into boxes built by people who are terrified of the dark." In that moment, the illusion shattered. I realized that the titles, the lineages, and the external validation were just training wheels. True mastery meant I had to stand up, claim my own throne, and become the supreme architect of my own lineage. When I breathed that fragment back into my bone marrow, everything changed. I stopped trying to please the mainstream spiritual community. I stopped undercharging for my elite medicine. I stepped fully into my shamanic name, and I began building Harmonized Spirits, not as a standard business, but as an unbreakable fortress for sovereign souls. I tell you this because I see that exact same turning point hovering over so many of you right now. You have done the workshops. You have done the books and read them. You have collected the tools. So the time for practicing and seeking is officially over. The cosmos is asking you to stand up, put down the identity of the student, and pick up the mantle of the architect. Well, as we prepare to close this season, I want to lead you through one final absolute calibration of your structural grid. Sit up completely straight wherever you are, unless you are driving. Keep your eyes open, but again, if you're driving, keep your eyes open. Bring your internal awareness fully into your spine. If you are in a quiet space, close your eyes and let your arms rest loosely at your sides. Let all background noise fade away. Listen only to the rhythmic resonance of my voice. Take a deep, sharp inhale through the nose. Compress it at the solar plexus and exhale slowly through the mouth. Activate the earth seed. Feel the heavy tectonic gravity of the planet locking you onto the base of your spine. You are not floating, you are anchored deep into the iron core of the earth. You are immovable. Ignite the solar pillar, pulling your awareness to your center, right beneath your ribs. Feel the heat of your own presence ignite. This is your sovereignty. This is your absolute authority to say no to what drains you and yes to your highest evolution. Open the crown gateway. Feel the top of your head soften and expand. Visualize the pristine, original geometry of the universal life force resting above you like a crystalline crown. See that light pour down your spinal column, washing away the static of the middle world, dissolving the lineage shadows, and flooding every single cell of your body. Feel your mitochondria ignite. Feel the water in your body organize into perfect, sacred geometry. You are standing in the center of the world tree. You are heavy in the earth, bright in the core, and open to the stars. You are perfectly calibrated. You are no longer a victim of the weather. You are the storm. You are the sovereign architect. As you sit in this unshakable alignment, you face a definitive threshold. Look honestly at the crossroad in front of you today and answer these 3 final questions. First, are you going to step backward into those old loops? Are you going to let tomorrow morning slide you back into the archetype of the sponge, absorbing other people's anxiety, leaking your power to toxic environments, and or pretending that you are helpless? Second, are you going to keep stalling your mastery? Are you going to tell yourself that you need one more book, one more certificate, or one more year of waiting before you are allowed to step out as an elite leader and really charge what your medicine is actually worth? Third, are you ready to commit to the depth? Are you ready to leave the surface level, love and light, spiritual echo chambers behind and actively train in the royal, multi-dimensional science of your true lineage? If your soul is screaming for the depth If you know that you are meant to be an architect of this new paradigm, then your searching ends today. The gate is right in front of you. This is your formal invitation to step across that threshold. On August 8th, the gates officially open for the Reiki Shamanism initiation. This is our elite flagship mentorship container inside Harmonized Spirits. This is not a weekend course or a generic certification. This is a rigorous alchemical furnace designed for the advanced practitioner who is ready to claim their sovereign mastery. Over this intensive training, I'm going to personally hand you the complete blueprints. I'm going to train you in the advanced tracking mechanisms of soul retrieval. I will teach you how to build unbreakable, multidimensional armor against middle world chaos. I will walk you step by step through the hieratic postures, the acoustic science of Heka, and the navigation of the 12 gates of the Duat to activate your highest cellular pharmacology. This is in the 24 hours of Mayat, which is a separate course from the Reiki Shamanism initiation course, but is included in the membership. We are gathering the trackers. We are gathering the sovereigns. We are gathering the architects who are ready to build empires of light with unshakable earth foundations. If you are ready to claim your seat, to access our foundational shadow work tools and stand shoulder to shoulder with a global community of elite spirits who are actively putting themselves back together, do not wait. Click the link in the show notes below, enter the Harmonized Spirits community right now, and claim your place in the lineage. The blueprint is set. The tools are in your hands. The building begins now. I am Christopher Wolfing Spirit. Thank you for journeying through the worlds with me this premiere season. For the final time of the season, stand in your sovereignty.